Hi everyone, and I hope you're all well. And as you can see from the Christmas tree, um, decorations are up in the Medway household, and this video will be going out a week or so before Christmas. And it goes without saying, of course, that I hope you all have a great time. Now, I haven't done too much in the garage on the layout, mainly because of the cold snap we've had, married with work starting to ramp up ready for Christmas. So what I have been doing is mostly indoors in the nice warmth. So there's a Dapple kit that I've put together and in the process of painting. So you'll see how I get on with that. Um, but I've been doing a lot of figure painting from 3D figures on fine scale, plus another couple of people I found online. So we'll see that as well. And the second part I really want to say is a big thank you to you folks, because unexpectedly to me, I noticed that I'd hit the 400 subscribers. So we're now at 401. And as I have said numerous times, I was surprised if I'd get 100. It really wasn't setting out to gain subscribers or what have you. It was really just a documentation of the layout build. But I must say, in the 2 years, I've really made some great friends, and have really been inspired by the channels I've been watching. So thank you very much. And it's quite humbling to think that a few people find the videos interesting and have stayed with me, and new people are joining. So as I say, I really do appreciate it. The new people, you're very, very welcome. And the people who have been there from the start or have been there for a while, thanks so much. I really can't thank you enough for your continued support. So that's brilliant. Also, another couple of shocks was the last two videos I put out. One was of the Gray's End show. Now, yeah, it wasn't of great quality really. It was just me with a camera, and that hit over 700 views. And my last update is just shy of 500. So yeah, it really is great. There are some absolutely smashing layouts and channels out there, and to think that people will take the time. We're all busy to watch mine. Yeah, it is absolutely brilliant. So thank you very much for that. There's a few channels I'd like to give a thumbs up to, if I may. One is Alan at Buckland Junction, and I'll put a couple of links down below. He's another Kent man down on the coast at Dover, and he's building a brilliant layout of the Dover area with some old school locos. Yeah, excellent. And using old school methods for scenery. So take a look at Alan. Yeah, he's very interesting. The usual folks, I'd like to say thanks to obviously Graham at Lakeside. He's now managing to get onto that and get working. And yeah, it's great. It's great to see. Chris at Bognor Regis. I know he's been struggling a bit lately, so all the best to you, Chris. If you're looking at a really good layout, technically great, then Hugh at Perth House is another one, and of course my old pals at John at X Haven, and of course Lee Wall, and it'll be interesting to see what he has up next. So there we are, everybody. Have a cup of tea, sit back, have a little look, and see what's been happening. Let's have a look in the garage to see what has happened. As I mentioned previously, I haven't been in there too much due to the fact of the cold snap we had. So I've been doing a lot more work indoors, such as painting figures and kit building. And what you will see is that the buildings I showed you last video are now in place. They're wired up for lighting, but they won't be connected because I will be having a re-look at the lighting and see if I can do it a little neater, a little more efficiently. But they're in place. Obviously, lots more detail to go, but it will give you a feel of what it will look like. Also, some of the figures I've painted are now in place, excuse me, and yeah, I'm quite pleased with how it's coming together. So let's get over to the garage. Okay, let's take a look at the skateboard park. And as you'll see, we've now got proper skateboard figures. If I can zoom in a little bit here, rather than the snowball figures we had. Just got one of the poo bins put in place. There's a young chap on his scooter just waving to one of the guys in the skate park. Here's the petrol station, and as you can see, we're just really only got it put in place at the moment. Again, lights to be fixed. The area where the figures are on the ground is going to be where we're going to have a car wash. As you can see, there is a Amazon parcel collect area there, and it looks like a parcel's just been collected. So there we are. That's the start of the petrol station. Now let's have a look at the fire station now. And again, we've got it in place, but there's still a lot more detailing to be done. And again, it will eventually be lit up. So just around here is where the fire drills take place. Just parked up there is a Kent Fire and Rescue van. So there will be a lot more detailing to be done to the building and to the area in general. But that's the start of the fire station. Let's now have a look at the ambulance station. And as you can see, there's an ambulance just ready to go out. 2 crew members in place. And then if we have a look around the back, there's the motorcycle paramedic chatting to one of the crew members who are just about having his rest. The response cars getting ready to go on duty, just being filled up with diesel, and one of the crew members are just radioing in to say that they're ready to go on shift. So that's Medway Ambulance Station. Okay, let's have a look at the tyre centre. And as you can see, cars just being brought in to have some tyres sorted. One of the staff are there ready to take instructions. And if we move around the back, the Mini's having their tyre or its tyres sorted. The owner's just having a drink while he's waiting. As you can see, we've got a pile of old tyres stored at the back and a rack or a couple of racks of very nice new tyres. So that's the overview of the tyre centre. Now if we just move over to the cafe area, you can see the cafe is now in place. If we have a look down, the bandstand is only temporarily in place because I'll be looking to get some lighting in there. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to be doing with the lighting, but that gives you an idea. And then if we go around the back, you can see we've got a little seating area at the back. So let's have a look, see how that looks from a distance. Yep, that's the cafe area. Now, a little bit of change to the high street. You may have seen some pictures here. This is just a scene, cameo scene. A chap has collapsed in the high street. He's been attended to by the ambulance crew. There's James on the left, Katie the student paramedic, and Mel there, all looking after him. We can see the police van ready to move over to where the fight outside the Duke has taken place. In the meantime, the commuters are just getting ready to get onto the commuter coach into London. Chap there who's taking his time on the phone, dawdling along. If we move a little over to there, we can see Mike on his mobility scooter, just on his way to the library rather. Got a couple of kids there on their e-scooters. John and Jill having a catch up. Seem to have seen the Trotter's van has made an appearance. And of course the fisticuffs outside the Dukes of York is still ongoing. We just move over and can see, excuse me, that there's a new addition to the maintenance crew who's just collecting some rubble. And then if we pan over to the scrapyard, recent winds, yeah, it's blown the toilet door open, so John on the throne there is slightly embarrassed. But there we are. So that's just a little overview of the high street scene. I decided to have a go at kit building. I wanted to start off, which I thought was something rather straightforward. So I went for the Parkside models, um, 10-ton open goods wagon. Now these are the, as I say, the old Parkside models, but now promoted and sold via Pecco. So this is the wagon in question. So I had a go at that, and I'll just show you the result. Now it's quite a nicely detailed wagon. It's got Romford wheels with the brass bearings, and that's all good. Now the only thing, and I'll just show you, is that because they're such an old model, and it looks like it's just photocopied the instructions. The instructions are not as comprehensive as perhaps I would like, and certainly that area there is rather fuzzy, and trying to identify the right point, the right pieces can be a little difficult. Now, with care, it shouldn't be an issue. You just need very care cutting them off the sprues, because there's some very thin pieces of plastic that could break quite easily. This is my result. And I think you can probably better see it from that side. Now I made a bit of a schoolboy error. I was a couple of mils out in getting the flat floor, and then of course the sole bars attached to the floor, and so I'm about 1 or 2 mils out, as you can see. Disappointed. It was my own fault, my own error, but it is a learning curve. But all's not wasted. I think that cost me around about £8 or £9, which is good value for a decent wagon. And I thought, okay, so it was an experiment. I've learned. So with the rather dodgy wheel there, that can be off to the wagon workshop, which I'll have on layout. So which will then give me a chance to have a go at painting, see how I get on with that, and also some weathering. So I suppose in the end this has worked out as a sort of experimental for kit building, painting and weathering. So what I'll do is I'll get on with that, and then show you how I got on. First stage in painting. So I just got some Vallejo 7950 black, the model colour version, and I find that for putting onto figures and straight onto here are fine. They're good and nice consistency. I tend to use the Model Air if I'm going to use it in an airbrush, or with these the model colour, I think they might need thinning down by about 50%. So started off with just painting the bottom and the sides in black. I went online onto Flickr and found a reference photo, which I'll just show you down below. But that was the first stages, and we'll move on and carry on. Next stage was to use the wood cold light shade. That is UA 718. And what I've done was sort of just almost dry brushed it, pulled a couple of dabs and then brushed it in, just to give, if you can see there, sort of a whitishy, fadey shade to it, just showing wear of the wood, picking up some dirt, and then in the inside as well, the wood planking getting some wear on the couple. Let's see, this sort of area here. I just put a bit of a thicker coat on just to show perhaps that it might have been a plank that was changed, repaired. So yeah, that's starting to show some wear to it. So that had the light shade, and then I use the warm dark shade. You can see it, and that is UA713, and so I put that over it, which has toned down that light shade. And so we can, yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. If you have a little look there, you can see where the white and the light shade are still showing through, but it gives you a bit of a mixture, so it's not too harsh. So that's those two. That's the light shade and the warm shade. So here we go for the next stage. Next I used Val Weathering Track Dirt. That is UA720. Some Val Weathering Frame Dirt, UA719. I used a little bit of Nuln Oil, some more black paint, and so just on the sole bars we've had those two. First off, the track dirt, and then some frame dirt, and just sort of masked on, dried brushed, rubbed across a little. I'll turn you around to the other one. There you can see a little bit of black along the where the metal areas are, sort of, oops, there, and along the ends. Oops, so daisy, let's get that there. I painted the buffers, as you can see. We have a look, that area there is just slightly white, so I'm just going to give it a little brush across, just there, a little dab with a paper towel, and we have a look, and I think that looks a little better. So we're just going along and just trying to get a feel of what we're looking at. I mean, that looks like it's something that's seen a fair bit of use, and probably explains why we've now got suspension problems. Oops, especially since if I drop it. Also, just, I don't know if you can see, just along where the springs are, I put a little bit of silver paint just dry brushed across. What I think I'll do, that looks a bit too silvery, so let's just tone that down a little bit. Yeah, just to pick out some of the metal bits. So I'm just got some black paint that's nearly dried out, and just brushing across it. And I think that looks a little better. The other side looks okay. So there we are. That's the next stage done. So we'll move on, and I think we'll have a look at weathering powders. Okay, so the last stage was to do a bit of weathering. And for this I used the World War Scenics Light Rust weathering powder. Very good value. You get a nice large tub, and I think there's about 4 or 5 pounds, and yeah, it will last for ages. And then the Humble weathering powders, and that's Dark Earth, which is a very useful colour. David Bunter's Yards uses this a lot, and I managed to get them rather cheap on Amazon. I think I got 2 for about £4, so it's worth having a look. And then Mrs. C came and spoke to me and said, would you ever find use of these items? Which, if I can tip it up, whoops, let's have a look. That's her sort of makeup. And I thought, well, okay, I'll see what I can do. And if you can see, they've got loads. Hang on a second, without it. Yeah, there we go. Loads of different colours. Some which has got a metallic-y feel to them. And again, there's some more in there. Let me, whoops. That's unlucky. There you go. And as you can see, it's got some soft brushes. So I thought I'd give it a go. So I gave them a little brush over with one of the metallic-y ones, and yeah, they seem to be quite handy. So let's have a look at the finished article. So hopefully you can see that. So it's had quite a few different little weathering powders across them. I'm trying to get a earth and rusty feel around by the axle areas. I think I might give it another little tony down on a couple of them. And that's inside. And again, that's using those two weathering powders and Mrs. C's makeup. And I don't think the camera will pick it up, but it might not. But there is a little glint of metallic in there, and yeah, that's giving quite a nice effect. Only thing I'm slightly disappointed is that I'd made such a bad job of building the thing. Otherwise, that would look quite good going around on the layout. I think it just gives an old, rather knocked about look. But then I suppose with it going into the wagon works for repair, yeah, that will be okay. So there we go. Perhaps you can let us know what you think about it. First real go at kit building and then painting and weathering. So yeah, there we are. Plans for 2022 then. First off, I want to get all four sides of the layout scenically advanced enough so that shots can be had from everywhere. I think you'll find, certainly in the running shots coming, that with those new buildings put in place, we're getting different types of shot. But I'm aware that things could be a bit sameish for you. And as I say, I'm very aware of that. So I think that by the end of March, we'll be in a position where the four sides are in a good enough state that we'll get some decent shots, and then it'll just be down to detailing, putting some little bits of details in. And I don't think we're too far off. So that's one thing. An exciting development is that I've had 2 invites from fellow YouTubers, both with great layouts and good following. So I'm really excited about going down and seeing them in the flesh. They're ones I support, obviously, and really enjoy when they upload videos. So look out for those. Those will be separate videos, and I won't say who they are and spoil the surprise. And also, if there's any folks in the southeast who wouldn't mind me turning up and looking at their layout and doing a video, then just drop a comment. A couple I would like would be John up at Green Hill Junction, and he's got a lovely layout and started about the same time as me, and the Hugh at Perth House, who mind blowing. Um, but of course, it's rather cheeky of me to make that comment. So up to you guys, and we'll leave it at there. Um, a couple of other things. There is a new building for Medway that I'm excited about, and again, I will keep you on tenterhooks there and reveal a little bit more as things go on through the year. But yeah, if it comes off, it's gonna be really good. And I've got every confidence in the person who will ensure that it will be, and that's all I'm saying at the moment. Um, what else going forward? I would really like to get into a position where people can come and have a look at the layout here down in Kent, and I just need to push on and make sure that A, it's finished, and B, more importantly, that the garage is health and safety compliant. Um, so I'll update you when that has come along, and there we go. As I mentioned as well, we've come up to 400 subscribers, and I really do appreciate that. And it's not all about numbers, and it's I think about the quality. And you folks who have come along and joined, it really is most appreciated. What else am I going to be doing? As I have alluded to again in previous videos, and actually started, I'm looking at doing some more kit building, and also some weathering. Now, a few of the Hornby locos, I'm always a bit reluctant to try on locos, but certainly some of them on the railroad or the cheaper versions, the livery and the bodywork is a little plasticky. So what I would call, if there is such a thing as sympathetic weathering, I'm not going all out to look for something that might be on the scrap heap. It will just be, gentle weathering to maybe to take that plasticky sheen off of it. So look out for that. And also there is an announcement to be made early in the new year. I'll say no more, but do keep a lookout, and that will be a one-off video. Now, for running shots, next year we'll be having, as I mentioned, better views to be had, and therefore I can do a lot more running. So perhaps you could indicate, would you prefer to have them in the monthly update? And I'll probably only do monthly updates, or little one-off videos of a couple of minutes of just of different running themes. Just let me know. With the new iPhone, I've got an iPhone 12, and the camera's a little better than the old one. And using iMovie, you can make quite easy short videos. So again, excuse me, let me know what you think. But that's plans for 2022. Cheers. Well, that's it for the Christmas update 2021. And for those of you watching before Christmas, have a great Christmas and a safe and happy New Year. For those watching after Christmas, hope you had a good Christmas, and again, a safe and happy New Year to you. I'll finish off as always by saying again a thank you to everybody who's either joined or carried on watching this year. To get up to 400 subscriptions is brilliant, and I've noticed that the viewing figures of the videos have increased dramatically. So it's great, and I'm aware that I need to provide better content, but that will come once we get that layout in a better position. But yeah, I hope that'll be for the first quarter. I'd like to thank everybody who has put up content It's brilliant. The channels here are inspiring, and probably I watch more YouTube channels than I do old new TV. So there we go. A few people I'd like to mention, and again, if I haven't mentioned you, I've either forgotten you or the list is so long. So please don't take offence. But um, first off, will be Chris at Bognor Regis, John at Exhaven, and John at Greenhill Junction. We probably started around about the same time, and probably will put ourselves into the novices camp, and have enjoyed seeing your builds, and I hope we consider it sort of pot friends really. It's been great. Other people I have to mention, old mucker Lee Wall. He's got a lovely ability to scratch build, um, building up Minster, and he's a great bloke. And sorry I missed you at Getz, and we will catch up. Of course, John at Piccadilly for again getting me out of a few scrapes. And both him and Tony in Northeastern are brilliant scratch builders, and Paul at Gelgorm, and I really admire you guys. And um, Tony may be using more traditional methods, John with his 3D printer. It's excellent. So thank you, guys. Great news that Graham at Lakeside, he's looks like he's getting right back into things after his wife Wendy was ill for quite a long while. So that's brilliant. What was the layer and the building of his Gentry car? That's something to watch. Other people, what can I say? Um, Alan at Dragon Junction 2. Glad to see he's fully back after his COVID outbreak. And not only does he provide great content, um, great modelling skills demonstrated, but a great sense of humour. And thanks, Alan. Brilliant, and all the best to you for next year. Susanna at Mildor and Volmer, thank you for not getting too upset by me keep nicking your ideas. And if that's all right, I shall continue to do so into 2022. Some new chaps is Danny at South Line, Southern Line, and Mark at Hemel Down Model Railway. They've got some great layouts in the making, and it's great to see some fresh and young faces. So that's it, guys and girls. Brilliant, thank you. I'll finish off with a few running shots, and also just keep a lookout for a couple of new announcements in the new year. So without further ado, to use a good modelling phrase, happy 2022 and safe modelling. Bye for now. Bye.